Okay, Michael John artists, I know you're totally excited because you've been waiting and waiting to do some fused glass art. Well, today is the day. We are going to do some fused glass art with radial design in our minds. If you forget everything today, one thing I want to stick with you when you leave is a radial design is a design from the center out to the edges. I have 3 basic radial designs right here. The starburst, center out to the edges. The bullseye, center out to the edges. And the spiral, center out to the edges. Keep these designs in mind because we'll come back to these. Choosing from one of these designs is where we're going to start our glass fused radial design today. Our key words for the day are radial balance and design solutions. So radial balance, of course, that's our focus today, is creating a radial design with our fused glass piece. But the other focus is design solutions. You have, I don't want to say a limited, but you have certain types of glass that we're using today that might bring some challenges your way, some design challenges. And here are the glass pieces that we're using. You will have a star of the show type piece. Everyone will have one of those. If you're lucky, you might have got 2 small ones that you can use together or separate, but you will have at least one of those pieces in your plate today. You have the flakes. The flakes are pieces that can easily break with your fingers, but be careful with these guys because even though they're small and very paper thin, they can have little sharp edges and kind of stick you every once in a while. They won't cut you, but they will stick you, kind of like a pin. So please be careful with those. We have the noodles, which are just like spaghetti noodles, and they break with your fingers just like spaghetti noodles. We have the nuggets, the nugs. The nuggets are thicker pieces of glass chunks and can have pointy edges. They can have pointy edges that could poke you, so be careful of that. You cannot break these with your fingers. They are too thick. And then the last type of glass we are going to be using for our radial design is our frit. Frit is like glass sand. Okay, moving on. All right, here is what you will have at your seat when you get back to your table. Please remember, we are not sharing supplies. What you have in your plate is yours and yours alone. So use what you have and make use with what you have. That is one of your design challenges today to come up with solutions for. So your plate will be labeled with your seat number and your table color. On your plate, you will get your base piece. You will get some sticky notes that we use for a name tag and a glue pad, which I already have my glue pad ready to go. I might have to add more glue. And you will also get your plate with all your glass pieces to work with. And again, we're not trading, we're not sharing. Our glass is our glass alone, and that's what we're going to find design solutions to work with on our fused glass. Okay. Step 1 is making sure we start with a radial design. So you have a silver Sharpie and a pencil, but the silver Sharpie is what you're going to want to use. I've already drawn a simple radial design from the center out to help guide me. We start simple so we can get more complex. And I do want you guys to stay open to being more complex as you go, because as you start creating, you're going to discover that you get more and more ideas. It's like brainstorming story ideas. Once you get going, you many times will get more and more ideas. Okay, I'm going to show you in this video how to apply each of these types of glass and what we do when you're done. You won't watch me from start to finish do this piece because this is just meant to be short instructions to help you guys get started today. So I'm going to start with my dichroic glass, my star. I'm going to have that be my center piece. So it's good to plan out where you think you might use certain types of glass. So I'm going to use that one in the center. Now, when I have a larger area that I would like to fill, maybe solid with one color, I don't have a solid piece, but I have little pieces that I can fill in around my piece or to make a larger area full. So let's take a look at my flakes here. Flakes are great because you can line them up with the edges and you can overlap them. They're thin, you can break them if you need a smaller piece. And they almost will have, when they're fused, will have the illusion that it is one piece. You can change the colors as you go, that's fun. Some of these translucent pieces, if you overlap with them, it would change the color below. So keep, like I said, keep an open mind and keep thinking as you're creating. Don't get stuck on one idea. Leave your mind open. I like the overlapping idea, so I'm going to overlap some green and yellow. This pencil is going to get gluey and dirty. We will Clorox wipe them when we're all the way done with this. Now notice how I'm using my pencil and my glue to apply it instead of just using my glue bottle. Is that an option? Yes, but if your glue comes out too fast, you're in trouble. Then you have another problem to come up with a solution for. If we have too much glue on our glass pieces, they will turn brown in the kiln. So that's why applying a little bit of glue at a time is the way to go. All right, so that's how I apply my flakes. The nuggets work just about the same way. So if I want to do a couple nuggets, I might overlap those too. Ooh, here's an orange one. I like that. Same way. Or you can just put it directly on the nugget and then set it down. Okay? This is for a temporary hold. Not for long term, just temporary, to hold it in place so we can get it from the tray to the kiln. Once it's fired, it's all fused together. It becomes solid. So after that, you don't have to worry. Noodles. An easy way to do the noodles is to dip them right into your glue pad. Now, noodles can fill a solid area. I could line them all up if I wanted, but they're great for line design. Breaking them is super simple, super easy. Keep in mind you could do things like a broken line. It doesn't have to be all connected. This is the type of things I want you to think about as artists. Don't rush through this. Take advantage of having the opportunity to do glass and make it something spectacular. Your fingers will get a little gluey. Have a wipe nearby because then stuff starts sticking to you instead of your artwork. All right, like this one doesn't want to leave my side. Get on there. Almost. I might have to get another piece. I'm going to. Okay, that's how you apply the noodles, dipping them in the glue. And lastly, yes, don't run over the edges either. You want to keep it on the white piece and not go over the edges. And lastly is the frit. The frit is something that we won't do right off the bat. It will come later. But the frit is great if, let's say I wanted to do just a dot. Now, I couldn't do the whole thing because we don't have that much frit. But if I wanted to do a few dots here and there, I could put that glue directly on and just sprinkle the frit right over the top, just like you're sprinkling some colored sugar on your Halloween cookie. There you go. So that is how you apply each of the types of glass that you are challenged with, creating this radial design today. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And we have today and tomorrow to work on these radials designs, so let's knock them out of the park.